Money. Money. I love that money. Money. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money. You don't really want to play. Money, 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 money's what I'm talking about. We don't really know what you been talking about. You don't really want to play. You don't know what to say. It's money, 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 money's what I'm talking about. We don't really know what you always been talking about. And I don't wanna be the one who always really talk about. And you don't really want to play. You don't know what to say. It's money, 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 money's what I'm talking about. Money, 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 make you shut your mouth. Don't never ever talk about it if you never had the clout. You don't know what to say, stay up out of my way. Money, 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 make them shut them off. Keep playing with this goonies, boy, I'm gonna have to make the call. Stay in bounds on your pivot, boy, if you gon' ball. Cause a lot of niggas be fake, and you really can't play. Cause we done got it out the mud.
What's going on, people? CP3 coming to you live from At the Bar Radio. Week 2, unfortunate. Commanders lost 36-27. Drops Commanders to 1-1. Detroit is now 1-1. And if you watch my pregame show, you heard me say that if Washington didn't come out and get a fast start against this Detroit team, that it could be a long day and they could be in for an upset. And sometimes I hate being right, but that's exactly what happened. I guess this team thought the game started at around 2:45 instead of 1 o'clock because they didn't show for the first half at all. Scott Turner, his offensive game plan for the whole first half was trash. I don't understand why he would come out doing 5-step drops and, trying to stretch the field off the break, playing into Detroit's strength, which is their front four, and getting pressure along with their, rookie draft pick that had 3 sacks in the first half. But yet and still, you continue to do the same thing through the whole first half and then had to wait till the second half to try to, mix things up. Del Rio with the defense. I mean, the first half, there were a couple of blown assignments. The miscommunication on the play to St. Brown across the middle for 49 yards to start out the offense. But I can't say that the defense played that bad when you look at the yardage they gave up. The offense sputtered. You kept putting the defense on the field in the first half for, 30 plays. And, they gave up 22 points. They held them to a field goal a couple of times. Sometimes they gave them the touchdown. But to me, this was more on the offense not starting out and Scott Turner not adjusting his playbook fast enough for the team to be able to mount a more plausible comeback. Because, the comeback in the second half was good. I like seeing the resilience and all of that good stuff they talk about. But the fact is, you started out, down 22 in the second half. Like the game, like you didn't even show up for the first half. And that's on coaching. And I was looking for Ron to go over there and, start yelling at some folks, some coaches on the sideline to fix the things. But I didn't see that happen. It might have happened back in the locker room, which is all well and good. But like I said, by then you were already down 22 points. And Detroit has a quality offense, which I also mentioned. Didn't look like Swift's ankle was hurting him that bad. He broke a 50-yard run in the first quarter. Scott didn't give the running game a chance. Came out passing the ball off the break. The defense gets a 3 and out on the road. First series. It's the offensive coordinator's job to at least get a first down and, try to swing field position and build off of that momentum, from your defense, especially, the lapses that they had last week and the offensive firepower that Detroit has. Didn't do that. And comes right back out there and does it over and over and over again. The quick passing game worked against Jacksonville because you thought they were going to bring pressure that they didn't bring. This week, they brought the pressure, and you did nothing about it. This is when Scott gives me that sorry, sinking feeling of Jay Gruden-esque. When you see something that works, it's effective, you use it and you win, but then the following week, you don't go to it. You don't start out with it. You don't go back to it to get the momentum going that you built the previous week. You trying to start from scratch, then you finally get a first down in the second quarter, and then you pull out some fancy flea flicker play. Like, dude, it took you until 6 minutes into the second quarter to get a first down. Now you want to start doing flea flickers? Why don't we concentrate on getting a sustained drive going and maybe getting some points instead of trying to trick the defense? If you're going to use their aggressive nature against them, that's when you use the dump-off game, which we saw they started to use at the beginning of the third quarter. Why didn't you start doing that in the second quarter? First quarter was pretty much done. Down 15, you gave it a safety. You held the defense held on the goal line. But then once again, Scott goes to a 5-step drop when you're in your own end zone. Knowing that they're getting pressure. Knowing that the coverage they're running in the secondary is not allowing the receivers to get into the zone, or they're playing a man cover with zone mixed in, which is giving Carson something to think about. But you're on your own goal line with your back against the end zone. You don't go for a 5-step drop. I didn't see a quick slant until the second half. That's the way you get the aggressive defense. That's how you use the aggression against them. Because the men are rushing up. There's a void in between the linebackers. Wide receiver, quick slant. Boom, that's a quick 5 yards. Now you got 2nd and 5 instead of 2nd and 10. Because you're trying to do a 5-step drop with 2nd and 15. This was a frustrating game. And you know what I find interesting is last week we were up, started out fast. None of the, so-called fans that have an issue with this team said anything. But this week we get off to a slow start, and I got folks all over my post. It's like y'all celebrate when they play bad and they play good, play well. You find something to be upset about. I just don't get it. But what's going on, Robbie? I appreciate you sharing to some groups. I'm sharing to some groups also now. Yeah, Jesse said just give it the first half and maybe we win. Yeah, unfortunately the NFL game is 60 minutes long and not 30. As I said, I think they thought the game started at 2:45 instead of 1 o'clock because they, like I said, the coaches did them no favors, putting them in a position to be successful. The defense, did what they could to weather the storm of the offense ineptitude, which I hate to use that word, but that's pretty much what it was in the first half, and you only get 2 first downs in the whole first half, and you get that first down with 6 minutes left in the second quarter. I just don't understand why Scott stuck with the game plan that he had. Coach Rivera is doing his post game now. I'm going to definitely check it out and see what he has to say because I know it's going to be a lot of tough questions. Also, I know a lot of folks are upset about the 2-point conversion that he went for in the fourth quarter. Then they came back and were down 9, and because they missed the 2-point conversion and the kicker missed the extra point, did you hear how I had to loop all of that in? He wasn't expecting the kicker to make a point. He had the momentum at that time. They had just got a 2-point conversion before. And I feel, now this is not what I know, I feel that he went for the 2-point conversion because he felt like they had momentum and they were trying to capitalize on it. Unfortunately, it backfired. They didn't get it. Detroit, on the next series, called the jet sweep, and I have to look at the tape, but because he was so wide open on that end, I want to say the defensive end, Sweat, didn't stay home. I have to go back and look at it, like I said, but that one play, 50 yards, boom. They 30-yard line close to the red zone, boom, they score again. So it was a lot of momentum swings in this game, and the Commanders didn't step up to the plate soon enough. They had to wait till halftime for some reason. I don't get it. What's up, Brian? He said the offensive line was the issue. Yeah, I mean it was the issue because, like I said, Scott was playing into their hands. If you see the defensive line is running stunts and twists and getting pressure, you don't go to a 5-step drop. You go to a quick passing game, just like he did against Jacksonville. But for some reason, he had it stuck in his head. He wanted to keep on trying to push the ball down the field instead of taking what they gave him and hitting the wheel routes, hitting the. I didn't see one tight end screen. He loves a tight end screen on. I didn't see one. Last week he started out the game with it, and I just think that the Detroit's defensive line is formidable. They played well against Philly last week. They have a quality front. And I'm not sure what happened on our offensive line. Terry, I see what you say, our O-line needs work. I'm not sure what happened with the pressure that they were able to get this week that I didn't see, that they didn't give up last week. I don't know if it was more max protects last week, and they didn't do a lot of max protects because he had 3-4 wide receivers out there. Like I said, I was watching on a streaming and on a smaller TV and was interacting with folks, so I have to go back and watch the game when I get home tonight and actually look at it to see what the hell was going on in the first half, because I don't understand how you go totally away from the game plan the week before that had some success and not, when things start mounting, when you're down 5-0, you down 12-0. I didn't see him go to none of those plays to try to get the momentum or try to, swing the momentum back in our favor. And I was hoping that, Coach was going to, he said he was going to be holding Del Rio accountable for if things weren't going right. Now that he has Scott on the sideline and he can directly talk to him, I was waiting for them to show a video of them saying, look at Coach talking to Sean, talking to Scott, trying to get things figured out, because can't afford to wait till the second half against better teams. I said in the pregame, Jacksonville did the Commanders some favors, dropping passes, and not executing, missing wide open in the end zone. That isn't going to happen every week. So they were blessed and lucky to get the victory last week, and this week they didn't answer the bell at all. Detroit came out ready, came out pumped, and they basically put their foot down the Commanders' throat in the first half, and it wasn't nothing that any of them did about it, in my opinion. So I know it's only week 2. All right, Henderson got a touchdown from my fantasy football. All right, good look. Rams just scored. And then you got Philly coming up next week, who is a better rushing team than Detroit is. And we got gashed for how many? Oh, I didn't write down this. Got gashed for 191 against Detroit. I didn't even look at the per yard average because last week we gave up 6.2. Last week Swift was averaging 9.6. At least he wasn't averaging 9.6. Well, shit, he was averaging 11.2. He only rushed 5 times for 56 yards. So it was a head scratcher for me. I don't get it from the offensive side. The defense, like I said, there was a big miscommunication on the play to St. Brown. And then it was just like their offense was outsmarting our defense. They were finding the voids in our defense and being successful. And honestly, the D-line, they got looked at the interior, Deron Payne and Jonathan Allen. That whole interior was backups. Jared Goff is a stationary target. Why couldn't we get pressure? Why were they defensive line able to get pressure on the offensive line, who's healthy, and our defensive line couldn't get pressure on their quarterback with backups in the interior? Like I said, I'm going to go look at the tape. I didn't get a chance to look at it closely because I was on the grill grilling too. So, like I said, I'm not going to criticize until I watch the film and see but I'm going to talk about what I see and what I saw. All right, Brittany, I see you. Like I said, some of the fans are happy when we lose. She's one of the ones when we win. I didn't see her on my feet at all, but now, she's loving life. No, I'm not. I'm not. I don't get this whole fire people. This is a new season. 3 years, 2 years, 1 year, whatever it was. This is week 2 of 2022. So it's week 2. Last week we saw some good, some bad, some ugly. This week we saw some good, some bad, some ugly. But if coach is content where he is right now, and he already said, you saw that, like I said, when he made the move of getting rid of Sam Mills, he showed that he's not playing. So if he decides to fire him and he saw that it's not going to get any better, then that's what he's going to do. But sitting here whining about it ain't going to do no good. It's a 4-2-5 defense, a new defense. You got a second-year player that's learning on the job, that they know needs work, and he's getting work on the field. That's the only way you get better, is by playing on the field. You don't get experience in practice and watching tape. You get it by playing the game. And that's what you have. It's called growing pains. That's why this year they didn't draft for potential. If you look at every draft pick they drafted, they were a 3 or 4 year starter. So now they're drafting for what they know they can do instead of the potential they can do. So now it's all about meshing all of that together. And it's week 2, people. There's hardly any tape on anybody. Nobody knows what to expect. You just saw Miami just came back and beat Baltimore. They was down 22-7. Then come back and beat them by 3. So, I mean, it's week 2. A lot of things are in flux. Firing somebody week 2 makes no sense. And it was a momentum thing. And like I say, it wasn't even on Jack. It was more on Scott and his play calling. They won a lot of missed tackles. Last week they had a 28% blitz coverage, which was 3rd in the league. So I swear, y'all are some gloom and doom folks, man. You just love to be mad. Love to be mad. Now, when they shut down Jacksonville in the first half last week, you have to, they should be up by more points. Oh, just wait till the second half. They're going to find a way to screw it up. Then last week when Detroit is blowing out, when they're getting blown out by Philly, you patting Philly on the back, talking about, see, that's how you handle a team. And then they mess around and win by 3. So, I mean, it's week 2. Nobody knows how the team is going to end up at the end of the season. It's not how you start, it's how you finish, people. And right now they're 1-1. They had a good game last week where they were able to come back and deal with adversity. They had a bad game this week where they didn't deal with adversity. That's 500. That doesn't mean the team is great. That doesn't mean the team sucks. That means the team is still developing and gelling and figuring out their identity, which coach said at the beginning of the season. We have to have our identity. They haven't got that yet. A lot of teams haven't got that yet. But why is it we want to fire our people just because we have it? 30 years. Ron Rivera has been here for 3 years. He's not responsible for 30 years. So I can't hear that nonsense. He has nothing to do with 30 years. We're talking about his regime and what he's responsible for. If you can't separate the two, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, Jesse, that jet sweep. Yeah, like I said, I have to look at the tape, but I'm thinking that Sweat didn't stay home on that play because he probably crashed down because of the misdirection. And that's where we talk about gap discipline and staying true to your assignment. Last week, I gave him an A grade for being disciplined. You didn't see Trevor Lawrence break the pocket. I hurt us with his feet. But this week, with a stationary target, I was hoping that would help contain Swift and they would still be able to get pressure up the middle since since Detroit was soft up the middle with backups. But like I said, I got to go back and look. I don't know what Detroit was doing that they were able to contain our interior linemen. I know Allen had the slight groin issue that he said didn't have any adverse effects. Deron Payne flashed a few times, but it was too many times that I didn't hear our front four's name being called, and I didn't see the pocket collapsing. So you can blame that on Del Rio. I don't know. I know y'all are. But like I said, I'm going to go back and look at it tonight when I get home and try to figure out, what that was, because that made no sense to me. What else? What else? I mean, there was some good, but there's no reason to talk about it. A loss is a loss. There are no moral victories. So I mean, hmm. This one does suck. This one does hurt because I had us. It should have been a win. We should be 2-0 right now, but we're 1-1 going into our first division game next week against Philly. Let me go ahead and go over these stats. I'm gonna share to a couple more groups, and that's it. Cause I'm not gonna be on for that much longer. Cause we gotta get ready for the At the Bar radio show at 6:00. So tune in for that one also. When I'll probably give my uncut and unadulterated version of what I really want to say. Let's look at these stats. And once again, on paper, this game looked winnable and should have been closer than it was. First downs, Washington had 21, Detroit had 17. Third down conversions, Washington was 7 for 15. All in the second half, they only had 2 conversions in the first half. And held Detroit to 4 for 13. Catch to that is Detroit was getting good gains on first down. So let's say numbers can say one thing, but also mean something else. That's why when everybody put a lot of stock in numbers, yeah, they were 4 for 13 on third downs, but they were going in 2nd and 2, where they didn't get the third down, and they were still moving the ball and being effective in the first half. So that's why I say you can put stock in numbers, but you can't put everything in the numbers and think that's all that it's all about. Rush yards, once again, like I say, Scott didn't give the run a chance. I'm starting to get flashbacks to good old Jay Gruden. Only had 88 rush yards. Detroit had 191. 308 pass yards to Detroit's 234. 396 total yards. Detroit had 425. 2 turnovers for the Commanders, none for Detroit. Time of possession, 32 minutes, 3 seconds for Washington, 27 minutes and 57 seconds for Detroit. And another surprising stat, Washington only had 2 penalties for 17 yards. Detroit only had 1 penalty for 5 yards. So this is a pretty clean game, penalty-wise. Time of possession, they were down, 17 minutes to 12 minutes in the first half. So they had the ball for a majority of the time of the second half. They just didn't score enough because they already spotted them a 22-point lead. It was, I don't know, like I said, I'm still scratching my head trying to figure out how Scott could have one of the best game plans I've ever seen him do last week to go to one of the worst game plans I've ever seen him install the following week. And yeah, I feel like this is a wasted opportunity that this team could be 2-0, going into a head-to-head matchup with, division game with some real momentum. Now they got to go back to the, chalkboard and figure some things out. Practice harder, scout better, because now you're going up against the Eagles offense, like I said, who runs the ball better with a super mobile quarterback in Jalen Hurts when you couldn't get home with a stationary target. And now you're trying to corral a super fast human being. Like I said, last week they did a good job at containing Trevor Lawrence and keeping the pocket, sound and being gap disciplined. So if they can do that again, then, that helps mitigate it and, keep his legs from hurting them on third downs especially. Yeah, it's just. Oh, this one hurt. And I understand the fans frustrated. I'm not mad at the fans for being upset. You have a right to be upset because this was a turd. Saying they laid the turd in the first half. I can't defend that. I'm not going to defend that. But it's just, disheartening to see the way this team started out this game. It's good to see the comeback, but like I said last week, you can't keep on coming back all the time. Sometimes you got to get the lead, take the lead, put your foot on the opponent's throat and win the game and then ride off to the sunset and call it a day. This week, can't do that. Uh, individual numbers. Now I said this going back to the Jay Gruden era. If your quarterback is throwing the ball 40 times and you're a Washington Commander, it's not a good sign. Wentz was 30 for 46, 337, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, 99.6 quarterback rating. Jared Goff, 20 for 34, 256 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interception, 121 quarterback rating. I.e., no pressure on the quarterback. I.e., only 34 passing attempts. 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. That says it all for itself. Antonio Gibson, 14 carries, 28 yards, 2-yard average, and 1 touchdown. DeAndre Swift, 5 carries, 56 yards, 11.2-yard average, and no touchdowns. Curtis Samuel, 9 receptions, 78 yards, 11.1-yard average, and a touchdown. And I can't say I've been saying it all morning. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 9 catches, 116 yards, 12.9-yard average, and 2 touchdowns. Now, if you tune into my pregame, and I got my pregame notes somewhere over here. Where did I got them? Oh, here they go right here. One of the keys to victory I had is don't let St. Brown beat you. Or Swift. Swift didn't beat him. Swift made a couple of big plays, but St. Brown, and not calling out because I know I blocked him, so you're probably not watching, but I had one dude talking about calling out players when they play bad. Kendall Fuller. Started out this way last year, you got better towards the end of the season. I don't understand why we have to start out slow and then ramp up and get better. You had a great preseason, played well in the preseason games and training camp and everything, but for some reason, it's just not. You're a step behind, and when they do catch you sleeping or make that mistake, the ball's coming your way and they capitalizing on it. So you did make a couple of good plays in the second half, but the first half, not so much. Not calling them out, just saying that, yeah, we got to do better. Davis played better in coverage. He got his first sack, so that was nice to see. But as a whole, the defense got outplayed, got outcoached, because like I said, they were finding ways to get into the void, to find the matchup. And because the front wasn't getting enough pressure, Goff had all day to pick the team apart. And that's pretty much what he did. What's up, Jesse? That being a Washington fan, you get worried seeing Wentz sack like that, knowing his history. Yeah, but I mean, having Heineke as a backup, I'm not really too concerned if he does get hurt, because I know what Heineke is. I'm not saying Heineke is the end all, is the answer, and he should be starting, yada, yada, yada. With the weapons that we have on offense now, Heineke isn't going to be asked to do as much. So if we don't have to push the ball down the field, that's cool, because he can hit he hits his check down and he buys time with his feet. So, but, Carson has been healthy for the last 3 seasons for the most part. So that injury prone moniker, I get it early in his career, but for the last 3 seasons, he pretty much been healthy. I don't know if there's really much to say about this game. That's pretty much it. I got the 6 o'clock show at the bar. We'll be talking about different topics, different subjects. You can tune in. Like I said, it's more uncut, Sports in the Hill. I try to keep it PC and adult and family friendly and everything. But to get my true uncut feelings on this game, tune in at the Bar Radio, streaming live around 6 o'clock. Talk about sports, current events, entertainment, news, independent music. We have an in-studio guest. Might have 2. I'm still waiting to hear back from my folks. So tune in, check us out. Check out the website, sportsothp.com, for all the shows, highlight videos, Facebook Lives. Check out my YouTube channel, Carol Porter III with 3 eyes, not the number 3. Go follow, hit the notifications button, help grow my page, do highlight videos, all types of different things. So check us out, stream live. Tune in tomorrow night, Sports on the Hill podcast. be breaking down this game a little bit more. Like I said, I got to go home and watch the film on it. I didn't get a chance to look at it like I wanted to. And having some technical difficulties at the house. That's why I went live from my phone this morning also. So I'll probably be joining on my phone, so I won't have all the stats and stuff like I normally do, like I have over here. Working on getting my Wi-Fi taken care of. Something's going on, but you know how that is. But appreciate y'all checking me out. Sports on the Hill podcast, True Radio Network, Washington Commanders post game, week 2, 1-1. Could be worse, could be 0-2. Week 3, Philadelphia at FedEx Field. I'll be at the game, so yeah, it won't be a post game or a pre-game. Well, I might do it live from my phone. So yeah, stay tuned. But I'll be at the game next week, so that'll definitely be interesting. I haven't been to a Philly game in a while. The last one I went to, let's just say, got a little rowdy. But appreciate y'all checking us out. Tune in. Sports on the Hill podcast, True Radio Network, DC Sports Weather Politics. It's not just a catchphrase. It's not just a motto. It's what we do. CP3, live from At the Bar Radio. Catch you later. I'm out.